It's never going to get printed out if there's a script. They're not going to print it. Like, it's not like they give it out to everyone to read.
There was an office memo.
Just
go do it, goddammit!
Just making up accents at this point.
Do it!
You heard him. Please.
You know what's better than, you know what's honestly the best thing? Pissing drunk outside.
Nothing better. Just staring up into the stars. You're like, I'm having a great night. Like, this is fun time.
Sometimes I prefer to pee outside than I do a bathroom.
Oh.
You think aliens are real? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Pro Am Podcast. Just a couple of amateur athletes talking pro sports. I'm Sam Cohen.
I'm RJ Tamillo.
Speaking of talking pro sports, we put up a clip 2 days ago.
Yeah, getting a lot of traction.
Comment section's been just about everywhere.
I think I definitely ticked off some Broncos fans, which was the goal. So
I think we just ticked off some people in general.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though.
Which
honestly.
I'm kind of here for.
You got to have haters if
they hate us because they hate us. One, they hate us because they hate us.
Get your own.
Two,
pod.
don't forget to like and subscribe while you're hating.
Right.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, X,
All
YouTube,
that.
Snapchat. No, I'm kidding. We don't have Snapchat. We should. That'd be cool.
That would be funny.
Get about 4 people, but it's fine. Let's go through these comments, though. I'm trying to...
Yeah, I'll read a few. There's some funny ones in here. Let's see.
Give me some usernames, too.
Okay. Well, one funny one.
If they're bold enough to make their comments, we can say their username.
Right.
So
there are 134 comments in here, so I got to find it. But there was one guy. His name was STFU Gus. Was his username?
Shut the fuck up, Gus.
Yes. Yeah, so
whoever Gus is.
He commented some shit, and I was just like, "Your username is STFU Gus. Shut the fuck up, Gus." And he responded, and he was like, "Honestly, I'm just happy that somebody finally got it." And I was like, "Okay."
So all of his friends don't know what an acronym is?
Yeah, he backtracked on it, but I forget what his comment was. I gotta see.
All right, Gussie.
Let's see, what else? Someone commented, "Is this satire?" I said,
sometimes, most of the time.
A little bit of satire, sure. That's called having a podcast and trying to be a little funny and entertaining. You know?
Are you in English class? That's my question,
Yeah.
Mr. Satire.
Are
really
you
using
literal William Shakespeare?
We don't. I
Calm
mean, those
down.
words are a little too big for us sometimes.
Yeah, you know.
When you first said satire, I had to think about what it meant for a second. I was like, got it.
This guy commented, "No playoff win since pre-9/11." You got me there. Give you that.
Yeah, ouch.
Y'all finna get smoked? No, we're not. Clearly from Denver. He has a Nuggets logo. Let's see. This guy says, Bo Nick's going to be the best QB out of the draft class.
Who's that?
JL5280. Bo Nick's going to be the best QB out of the draft class. Raiders for Max Crosby, competitive. Worst teams.
Worst team in the NFL,
Not true.
I'd say, is a bit of a stretch.
Added Christian Wilkins next to him.
That guy just said that the
just
Raiders
doesn't
are
know
worse
ball.
than the Panthers.
Yeah, just wrong. Let's see. This guy said, "This is the dumbest take I've ever heard." I said, "It's dumb to think that the Raiders win a game versus a team they've beaten 8 times in a row." That was my take. My take was that the Raiders would beat the Broncos. That was literally the take.
That is the take.
I did shit on Bo Nix and Sean Payton in the process, but that was what I was saying. And I mean, the stats don't lie there. This guy says, "We changing that starting this year. Got to go back to how shit used to be."
You know
All right,
what?
tough guy.
I respect it though.
Yeah,
I respect it.
No, I do see that's a
respect
regular.
it.
I didn't clap back on that one because I was just I just
Guys
threw
hyped
it
for his
away.
squad.
Yeah. As am I, which is fine.
To be honest, as a Broncos fan, right now in the last 3 years is probably the most exciting time. I guess you could say.
Yeah, because they've been pretty bad recently, so they finally have
unbelievably bad.
They finally have a quarterback that they think is going to be good. I just happen to think he's not going to be good.
I don't think they've been good since Peyton left.
Pretty much, yeah, and that's basically all they're hanging on to in these comments. Like, "Oh, Super Bowl. When's the last? You haven't even seen a Super Bowl." No shit, I haven't seen a Super Bowl.
Ago.
But you're lucky you had fucking fathead Peyton Manning roll over there when he was 48 and just win you a quick ring and then dip. Like, you're lucky.
Break records too. That sucker.
He did. He had a hell of a season. They were nasty that year. I will give the Broncos fans
R.I.P.
that.
DT
That was
too.
Yeah, R.I.P. Demaryius
Monster.
Thomas, absolute
Monster.
legend. He was filthy.
That was a monster.
Julius Thomas they had too at that time. He was a really
did.
good tight end.
Give us a couple more.
Let's see what else
We'll move on.
Let's see. There's definitely some really funny ones in here that I'm missing. This guy said the new Cowboys fans. How?
New Cowboys.
What does that mean?
I thought the Raiders despise the Cowboys.
No.
No?
I don't think they despise the Niners. That's what it is. Bay Area rivalry. Some Raiders fans said, "Raider haters, love it." This guy said gassing up the Raiders just for Devontae to be a Jet by October. I said keep falling for fake headlines. By October? I said keep falling for fake headlines.
That's like 3 weeks.
Someone else responded and said, bro's not going anywhere. Keep dreaming.
It's not 3 weeks, but it's not very long away.
I found Gus's original comment.
Here we go. There's Gus.
It was just in quotes. Hey, bro, we should start a podcast.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Gus.
Like,
That's kind of how we started it.
You're right. Yeah, that is kind of how it went down. But I just thought it was funny because a bunch of people commented that. Because that's the classic comment that you throw on when it's like, oh, these two shouldn't have a podcast.
Yeah, but my question is like, how do you ask some? Like, how else do you ask somebody? Do you want to start?
Do you think we just started this by like telepathically
you know what?
being
Actually,
like we
both dreamed of it one night. Didn't say a word to each other.
Showed up
right here the very next day.
And all this was just set up.
Yeah, it was kind of like Field of Dreams.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
We dreamt it. We came and they built it.
Yeah,
I don't know who they are, even though it was me.
Yeah, and now we got guys like Gus in the comments.
But Gus,
appreciate you.
You're right. Thank you, 1, for commenting. Appreciate your comment.
We'll take the interactions all day long.
2, you are completely right. But at the same time, I don't know how else I would have asked you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I should have did like a podcast proposal. Show up to your house with a board.
Show them my
podcast with me.
And that accept would be a whole big thing. We'll post it all over.
Like, how do they think LeBron made a podcast with Maverick? Do you think they just made out with each other and then we're like, holy shit, we got this going?
We got Chem.
Like, no, I guarantee Bron was like, yo, Mav, want to start a podcast?
Yeah.
Just like everybody else who starts a podcast ever, anywhere.
Let's see if I can find another one.
Unless you're like Joe Rogan, who just gets asked to, but he also started.
Here's a non-hater comment, just someone that genuinely thought what I said was funny. Said, "Dude's a bounty hunter, killed me." At the very end of the clip,
funny.
Dude's a bounty hunter.
That little dog the bounty hunter combo with Shawnee P.
Let me shout out It's Sean Man 1, big Raider fan, streams Madden, 11K followers on TikTok. Give him a follow. He hopped in the comments and just fought for me hard. Came in,
multiple
fought
people
for the Raiders. Yeah, he was just battling people, knocking them out. It was good stuff. Dropping stats.
I respect a guy who sees another fan and comes to his aid.
Yeah. And then before I knew it, there was a whole bunch of Raiders fans in here where I didn't even have to comment back because they were handling my battles for me.
It is Raider Nation.
It is Raider Nation. That's what I commented back to old Sean. He said, Raider Nation, baby. I said, one nation, Raider Nation. Which is a fact. Everyone needs to know that. There is one, you cannot call any team in the NFL something nation. There's Raider Nation, and that's it. You got your Broncos country or whatever. There's no such thing as Steelers Nation. You got the Steel Curtain. Steelers Nation is not a nation. That's not a thing. Steelers Nation is not real. I'll piss off those fans now. I'm switching over. Steelers Nation, not a thing. You can have the Steel Curtain, whatever you want to call it. You know your terrible towels.
I heard
it's Raider Nation. That's it.
I heard it was Bang Bang Raider Gang.
Which one is that? Is that Niners? Bang Bang Niner Gang. I feel
Bang Bang Raider Gang.
I feel like the Eagles have kind of tried to swipe that from the Niners.
Bird Gang. I think they're just Bird Gang, but they did kind of like mock the Niners.
I've heard some people saying Bang Bang Bird Gang, but
Cardinals is stupid. Cardinals is dumb.
What do they got?
Fucking Red Sea, rise up.
Red Sea, rise up, baby, rise up. Gotta rise up.
Phil's moving Taiwan Walker to the bullpen.
Interesting.
Classic Met.
Mixing a little bit of baseball.
Classic Met.
Just a little bit of baseball.
Got any more funny comments, or should we move on?
I'm scrolling through. There's still definitely some funny ones that I'm missing. This guy says, Sean Payton gonna show y'all. And then someone else said, man couldn't even beat Jimmy G. Someone goes, yeah, show us that he needs Breeze. So another guy goes, show us what? His sphincter? That's good stuff. I love that.
Oh, God.
This guy goes, you've been living under a rock? Raiders have beaten the Broncos for years, no matter what QB's behind center. Definitely not changing this year. Let's go, buddy.
I swear that's one of the... I think it's one of the harshest ways to, like, start a comment back. What do you live under a fucking rock?
You live under a fucking rock, buddy? What are you, dumb in the brain, living under a fucking rock your whole life?
I have wet brain.
That was funny, that clip you sent earlier. That's good stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it, though. We got go check out the comment section if you want. Leave a comment yourself if you like. Yeah.
And obviously, we take all comments, bad, good.
Clip's doing well, though. I like it.
My personal favorite comment, hey, we should start a podcast.
There's about 7 of those in there. Not a lot of original stuff.
What are you going to do? All right, let's move on. Let's do some Heisman talk.
Mark B must be listening live because he just commented a period with nothing else.
Thank you, Mark B.
Mark B.
I don't know how you're listening live unless you're
Somehow.
somewhere in
He's
this
tapped. He's tapped in
area,
somewhere.
but seeing this pre-recorded. But thank you, Mark B.
Good stuff.
Let's do a little Heisman talk.
Yeah, let's do that. So first and foremost, we have college football tonight, which is Thursday when we're recording, and then Friday and Saturday. We'll all have
then
a nice slate of football.
Next week, be on the lookout. We're gonna be posting a shit ton of stuff next week. We got Thursday night preview, Chiefs Ravens.
Yep. So
we got our first fantasy football showdown for the Beetle Ball League. Yep. We'll get into that more when that episode drops.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have? We got a game Friday. We got a game Saturday, and we have a game Sunday.
Is there college football Sunday? Or are you
next weekend?
Next week? Oh, next week.
Next week we got a packed schedule. Yeah, full schedule.
Full NFL slate. Yeah.
Nothing but.
And then there's
Thursday to Sunday.
Oh, dude, we have so much football coming up.
That's what I'm saying.
So much football.
So we got Thursday night preview coming up. Chiefs, Ravens.
Let's
fantasy football overview. And then we'll probably just go through week one, see what we like, see what we don't.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I'll handle the Ravens. You handle the Chiefs week one.
I'm assuming you want nothing to do with the Chiefs at all.
It's just hard for me to say good things about them, even though I know how good they are, and
Fine.
I just want to be realistic.
Baltimore squad. You always love a Baltimore squad.
Go O's. I'll have some O's gear on while I do it. But yeah, we'll have another one of those out for you.
I think my family loves calling me during this.
Oh yeah.
What's up, brother? You're live to tape. How are you?
Live on the pod?
Live to tape. How are you?
There he is.
Oh, man. Question. Well, we really can't have this conversation then, I guess.
What's it about?
No, it's just about fantasy. I was trying to go over a strategy.
What's your strategy? Oh, you don't want to air it?
You don't want to air it out.
I'm asking you. Well, no, you're not. I mean, unless you're putting the episode out in 2 hours, which I know you're not.
Oh, no.
Oh, our draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the time, I assume.
Yeah. I kind of figured you would handle that part.
Well, all right. You just got to send me your ESPN stuff, and then
Yeah, I got you.
I'll do a couple of mock drafts at the 12 spot, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Yeah, you should be already slotted in there. So after this, I'll send it over to you.
Sounds good.
All right. Peace.
He's drafting for you?
Together.
Okay. Nice.
We've been, that was really unnecessarily
We
loud.
could also, this won't be out by the time you draft, so you could call back and talk strategy if we wanted to get a live strategy going on the air here.
We could.
But that's okay. We don't have to do all
Depends. If you're willing to sit through that.
I mean, we are going to talk fantasy football, so maybe that could be a good way to get into it by talking about what strategy you think is the best here.
All right. Let's get into Heisman first. Let's do that real quick.
See if we have time.
And then I'll see if he wants to. He's playing college football right now, so who knows if he's going to be like,
he's locked in.
I don't know. Hold on. Fuck.
Respect. We'll get into that. But anyway.
Heisman talk. Let's get into that. Do you even have ideas? You got anything?
Yeah. So I was looking through earlier. The favorite is what's his face? Oregon's quarterback. He's plus 500. Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
I believe his name is. He's the favorite. Dude, we were talking about last week, Tennessee's quarterback.
Nico?
Yeah.
Is he up there?
He's a plus 1,400. He's got like the second or third best odds.
Okay.
Cam Rising, Utah, who I was talking about last week. If he stays healthy, I think he's got a good chance because I really think Utah is going to be the best team in their conference.
Okay, yeah.
Plus 3,000.
3,000?
Yeah, and that's basically because they're assuming he's going to get hurt again. Okay. Because he gets hurt a lot.
Damn, that's awesome.
But he's very good. And when he plays, he's a good quarterback, and they have a good team around him. So I think that's worth a flyer, plus 3,000.
Then you got your normal Shador Sanders, Carson Beck.
Shador's like plus 4,000, I believe.
Well, I mean...
Which, yeah, I mean, everybody has pretty good odds because there's a ton of fucking options, and no one knows what's going to happen yet.
I'm excited to... I like Ollie Gordon the second.
Where's he from?
He plays on Oklahoma State. He's a running back. The dude is a monster. He had 6 straight games with 100 rushing yards or more last year.
I like it when there's a player that's not a quarterback in it. Like, I hate when it's just all quarterbacks. I like when there's a...
Yeah, I mean, this guy, an
elite running back in the mix.
Led the FBS last year with 1,600 yards, number 2 with 20 rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, his stats back it up for sure.
And if Oklahoma State makes a playoff.
If they can play well, I think
That's
they're
basically
probably going to do
what.
it off of his back.
Yeah, Heisman talk is basically like
What team's
relying
gonna-
on which team is going to be really good.
Then you just take their
and-
best player.
and take the best player, exactly. Most of the time,
You're
it's the
like,
quarterback
Heisman!
or an elite defensive player.
The
or
good
something.
thing this year, though, is it's so shaken up that you can't just go off of the best teams
Yeah.
at this point because
Agreed.
that guy could still be playing come the end of the year. You know, we also did just post a video on that, so go take a look at that.
did.
on
Go
all
check it out.
platforms as well. Let me just name a couple more that I'm seeing here on ESPN. We got Jalen Milroe, obviously.
Quinn Ewers is probably in there.
Quinn Ewers is on there. Carson Beck, as I said. Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart, which is a fantastic name.
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic name.
Ole
Dart's
Miss,
throwing darts.
that's not a bad. What are his odds?
It doesn't say on ESPN, but I'm sure they're freaking high.
Yeah, because if Ole Miss is a solid team this year, if they're up there, if they make the playoff. Like I heard they have a really good offense.
Yeah,
that's what
and
I've been hearing. So
they
we'll see how it looks.
They got that. They got the tailback from Ohio State as well.
Oh.
Judkins,
Oh, interesting.
Quinshawn Judkins.
Okay. Yeah, so,
So-
they might have some dogs, so they could be a good squad.
Yeah, they're going to be not that
Be
bad.
worth it.
Another guy we got on here, Amarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. Don't know much about him.
I don't either.
Led the ACC. Was fifth in FBS with 1,400 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. He's a sophomore, so he's young.
Interesting.
Then, of course, we got Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Guy plays both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a
He's
guy
sick.
like that win it again.
I know.
Like Woodson.
Like Charles Woodson, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Dylan Gabriel's on here. Cam Ward. It says Cam Ward TBD. Does he not play for a team?
Is this an old thing here? I think Cam Ward is a Miami's quarterback.
This is way too early. All right, whatever.
University of Miami, I believe, if I had to take a guess.
We got Noah Fafita. And then rounding out the list, we got Jelon Daniels, quarterbacks for Arizona and Kansas.
Kansas is going to be solid.
If I had to pick one right now, gun to my head right now, I'd probably go. This is tough because I feel like there's not one like specific dude that'll take over more so than other, but I'm going to go based off of team success, and I'm just going to go Carson Beck.
It's not a bad one. I saw a stat earlier. I forget. I think I was watching something. Georgia hasn't lost to a non-conference team in 3 years. The only team that they've lost to is Alabama. So
Yeah, I mean they haven't lost
and
a
now
game
Nick
other than
Saban's
that one in
gone.
2
So
years. So
yeah, even the year that they lost to Alabama, they still won the national championship that same year.
well, they lost last year.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
That specific
that
year.
specific
that they
year
lost.
they
Okay.
ended up winning. So no more Nick Saban. So if Georgia could just fucking go undefeated. Never
They
know.
could. I mean, I wouldn't be very surprised at all.
Never
So
know. My pick is gonna be, honestly, I'm rolling with Nico.
yeah, the Vol.
I honestly think Tennessee is gonna be very good this year. I'm between him and Jackson Dart for the name alone. Both at plus
Jackson Dart is a sick
1,400.
name. Jackson Dart is a sick name.
Might sprinkle a little bet on each. Plus 1,400.
Jackson Dart's a fire name.
Yeah.
All right, though.
But yeah, that's Heisman talk.
Let's do some fantasy football, huh?
Yep, I'm with it.
So we're gonna go through top 5 players for each position.
That we think are gonna finish at the top 5.
Yeah,
points
not
at
we're
the-
not just
by the
like
end of
going
the year.
down the list. Like I'm gonna tell you who I think is top
Yeah.
5. And then we're gonna do that. You guys can comment whatever you want on it. Let's get started.
All right. You want to start with quarterback?
Obviously, let's start with quarterback. Who do you got?
Number 1, I think John's going to be excited to hear this. I think Jalen Hurts will be the number 1 quarterback.
Heard that, Johnny?
So that's
First round
pretty
pick
good.
wasn't so bad after all.
But yeah, I think Jalen Hurts will be the number 1 quarterback. He still gets a ton of goal line opportunities, so it adds a lot of value to him. And new offensive coordinator in Philly, they got Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator. I like what he does offensively. I think they're going to scheme up something really nice with all the weapons they have.
No tush push this year.
No tush push, but
Yet.
I think they're going to find other ways to incorporate Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns when they get in there.
Probably.
When they get around there, you know?
Yeah.
And then you still got Saquon now back there, so they might not have to do that.
True.
But either way, I still think Jalen Hurts will be a great fantasy option. Number 2, I have Mr. Josh Allen at 2. Then we got C.J. Stroud at 3.
Okay.
Your boy that you took,
Sophomore.
Lamar at 4.
Year. Lamar at 4, and
Jordan Love at 5, baby.
I knew you weren't going to have Pat Mahomes in there.
Nah, I mean, he finished like 8 or something last year.
Okay.
He'll probably could be top 5, but he'll be in that range.
I like that list.
Yeah, I like Jordan Love because he was the 6th ranked quarterback
I was going to
last
say,
year.
didn't he finish top 5 or near there?
Yeah, he was 6th last year, so I don't know. Another year under his belt with these guys. I think he's going to be even better. Better team. They got Josh Jacobs behind him now. They got solid line, good defense. I like the Packers a lot, so it's my top 5 for quarterbacks.
Alrighty. So at 1, I'm going to put Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the quintessential fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get 80 rushing yards out of your quarterback, that's going to help.
Touchdowns
couple
sometimes.
tutties, yeah.
I mean, the guy's a 15-plus lock for every game, no matter what.
Right.
So I'm going to take him at 1.
He definitely has the highest floor of all quarterbacks, I'd say.
Totally. Coming in at 2, I'm actually going to put C.J. Stroud up there. I think with the
Nice.
amount of weapons they have this year, he's just going to be letting that thing fly. D'Amico Ryans probably feels much like if you didn't feel comfortable last year with him under center, I mean,
Yep.
now you got to feel even more comfortable. Stephon Diggs coming into play. Nico Collins coming off of this terrific year. Tank Dell.
Back
They
and healthy
potentially
again. You got Joe
have
Mixon, too.
3 wide receiver ones.
I agree. Tank Dell is what technically the third receiver.
I would call him a borderline 2. He's the bona fide 2, borderline 1 on a shitty team, but
and
still.
he'll probably play the slot a
Yeah.
lot of the time too. So like he's not necessarily a wide receiver 3 when
Then you
you're
got
getting
Diggs
slot
and Nico
reps,
going
but
one-on-one
yeah,
with Dalton Schultz and Mixon.
and Mixon. I was gonna say they're a much better team than last year.
So-
CJ Stroud is fully set up to have an insane year. So
Yeah,
I like
it could come back to really bite me in the butt, but I took him because the amount of, he could just throw anywhere.
Yeah.
He could throw it to anybody
He's
and
got
have
options.
trust in him. So putting him at 2. Coming in at 3, I'm going to put Jalen Hurts. I still think he's going to do he's great at improvising and creating. So I like him there. Coming in at 4, I'm going to put Patty
Patty at 4.
H. Kermit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely easy to think that he's gonna have a little bit of a better fantasy season with a couple young receivers added in now. You get rid of Tony and those bums like Juju and guys like that.
Kind of got rid of the antic guys, the guys that would stir the shit up,
Right,
not on the field, and then
TikTokers
underperform
yeah.
while on the field, and
No more
just kind of
TikToks.
pissing him off. Now he's got some young guys that he can't necessarily boss around, but they're going to listen to him and
Right.
make sure they do what he wants first.
You got Rashee Rice, who is not getting suspended this year. His court date is pushed back to 2025.
Yep.
So
Fantastic for my dynasty
pulled
league.
a couple strings there. I assume that's probably the Patrick Price.
Maybe even the Big Red price.
Maybe, yeah. Big Red was probably like, hey, come on, he's a good kid. Come on. You got a cheeseburger?
Then you got Worthy,
Yeah, he's gonna
faster than lightning itself.
I'm worried about that.
Still got Sky Moore on the team, who I think is a phenomenal
I
receiver.
completely forgot that he exists. Yeah, he's definitely a solid weapon. Yeah, they're gonna be good.
Guy Watson, Nick Watson, Justin Watson.
Is that
something
the
Watson?
backup tight end?
No, it was the white receiver, number 80 something,
84.
something like
Yeah,
that.
I know you're talking
Still
about.
got him. So I mean, they still
Yeah, they got guys.
still got familiar weapons and new weapons.
Also, Pat Mahomes just kind of can make anybody solid. It was like Brady back in the day when
Yeah.
he just would, some random white guy would come up and then he becomes Wes Welker and he becomes Danny Amendola. And
Yep.
It's
So yep, I got Pat at 4, and then coming in at 5, I'm gonna throw Josh Allen in there.
hard to
Just
keep-
kidding, just kidding. Complete lie, complete and utter lie. You know who's gonna be number 5 this year,
Who you
bud?
got?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, love it.
My
Love
man's
it.
coming back with a vengeance. He's got a lot to prove. People have been tearing him down and stuff. There's a rumor that Call of Duty's coming out in October.
I just saw actually on this day last year. I posted the clip about us talking about people talking about Call of Duty Kyler.
Call of Duty Kyler.
It's actually a funny clip.
But I'm gonna put him at 5. So
I like that.
that's my 5 for QBs.
That's great fantasy value there. If you think that Kyler Murray is going to be a top 5 quarterback, you can go get him in the 9th, 10th round, like super late.
easy.
So
Easy money. He's gonna run around, so be ready for it.
I like that. All right, let's do running backs. I'll start off. My first overall pick in our draft this year. Took him 6th overall. I think he will be the RB1, Breece Hall.
Breece Hall
RB1
over.
over CMC. I mean, if you look back at years past, the RB1 has never been the same. They never repeat as RB1s back to back. So
I didn't know that. All right.
that being said, CMC is too good to put any lower than 2. So he will be right behind Breece Hall. I think obviously he'll still put up a ton of points, barring he stays healthy. And it's hard not to take him 1-1 if you have it, you know? I was glad that I didn't have it because it's not that I didn't want him, but I was just not – I wouldn't be excited for that stretch or that stress of like, is he going to get hurt? Is he going to stay healthy? You know?
I feel you. Totally.
So, yeah, Brees Hall, CMC. Number 3, I got JT. I think he comes back with a big year. I think the Colts offense will be much improved. Not, it's not going to be anything crazy.
They get Richardson back.
It'll be better. So I think he'll have more opportunities. Number 4, I got Bijan. And then number 5, James Cook. I think he's going to have a huge season.
I like it.
Different Bills offense is going to look a lot different. They're not going to be, having to worry about keeping Stephon Diggs happy by getting him 12 targets a game. It's going to be different. Going to be a lot of young guys. Ball's going to get spread out. They might have to run a little more.
Totally agree.
I think James has a good year.
Yeah, I totally agree. So for my top 5, number 1, I'm going to put CMC there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to really shake it up at number 2. I'm going to put Kyron Williams.
Okay, I like that. He was a honorable mention for my top 5.
I think McVay has figured out the correct way to use him along with Stafford together, so I think he's going to have a huge year. And then coming in at number 3, I'm going to put Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta alleviate the pressure off of Raj.
Yep.
You gotta, because you can't have him with that Achilles dropping back all day and throwing the ball. Number 3.
4.
At number 4, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, okay. I forgot.
Mainly
making
because
this list.
he's probably going to be, in the last 4 to 5 years, the most healthy Ravens running back probably around in a very long time.
And he just is a Ravens running back.
Yeah.
Just the way that he runs makes sense. That
And
he's
if
a
they
Raven
don't want
now.
Lamar running as much, please you got King Henry right behind him.
6'6",
just give it to
monster.
him.
Yeah.
And you'll be good. So I think he's going to have a gigantic year in terms of touchdowns.
Yeah, I was thinking he's definitely going to have a ton of goal line opportunities.
Yeah.
So.
And then
How
coming
many you
in,
thinking, 20
Huh?
TDs for King Henry.
I'm serious. Instead
mean,
of risking
it's
it
setting up
with
for that.
Lamar and doing like a read, I'll just give it to him.
Yeah.
He's gonna pummel the guys in front of him over.
Even thinking about that though, running a read option
With
the
that's
2
what
of them, bro.
Bro,
that's
you wouldn't know what to do. What are you
that's
gonna do?
dangerous. It's like, do we want to get juked out of my shoes or do I want to get trucked into the dirt?
Now,
Pick one.
now imagine the triple option with Keaton.
Ooh. He's starting out the season on the physically unable to perform list. But yeah. But that's only 4 weeks, so I'm sure after 4 weeks.
Now you fake it to Henry. Lamar's
Yeah.
running. Possible flip to
That
Keaton.
is a true lightning and thunder backfield for sure.
So I'm going to put Derek at number 4. And then at number 5, I love the James Cook pick. I'm going to put him at number 5 as well.
Respect. Well, I hope it shakes out like that because I have Brees Hall and James Cook as my running backs. So if I have 2 top 5 running backs, I'm in pretty good shape.
That'd be nice.
Be good shape. Transitioning over to wide receivers. Number 1, I have Tyreek Hill. I think just the way that their offense runs, obviously they have a ton of weapons, but it kind of does run through him. When he goes off for 150 yards, they usually win big.
Yep.
So give me Tyreek Hill, number 1. He's going to have a lot of those games, those big 150, 10 catches for 2 touchdown games. Amon-Ra St. Brown, number 2. I think he's going to have a hell of a season. I was really close to taking him over Brees Hall. But
I was really close to taking him over Jettas.
Yeah, Amon-Ra I feel like he was the safest first-round pick because he was going in the later half, but he was the value of a first-half guy.
Yeah, I totally agree on that.
So number 3, I got CeeDee Lamb. He was the number 2 pick in our draft. Mr. Rain Man took CeeDee Lamb. I like CD. He's going to have a good season. Number 4, Garrett Wilson. I think he has a huge year with Aaron Rodgers because he looks really good in all the videos I've seen at camp. He looks quick. His hands are good. He's catching in traffic.
Yep.
Looks like he's building chemistry with Rodgers, so I like Garrett Wilson to have a big year. I'm saying 1,400 yards, 12 TDs. And then number 5, little sleeper, Mike Evans. He's going to get into the top 5 this year. Bunch of touchdowns for Can't Guard Mike. Bunch of them.
Can't
Whole
Guard
bunch of
Mike.
them. Another guy that's on my roster. But yeah, that's my top 5.
Alrighty. I like that.
Yep.
Coming in number 1 for me, Reek. My favorite fantasy player every single year.
Yeah, it's tough not to pick him.
Love him. Love the dude. Just give him the ball in the slant, and good luck trying to catch him.
Makes good things happen.
Coming in at number 2, I'm going to keep CD there. This is basically off the point that last year I still have them on my dynasty team, but last year they pretty much would give me 90 points a week. Almost.
You had the two of them?
Yeah.
CD and Tyreek.
Those are my first 2 picks.
That's a lethal combination.
Oh, I also have Rashee Rice.
And
Jordan Addison and Xavier Worthy. Those are my
so you got a nice, young core there.
Wide receivers. I got 3 young ones.
And this is a dynasty league?
Yeah, so I keep them all.
Nice.
I do have Nick Chubb, though, which stinks.
It's tough.
But I also have Pacheco, so we're good. Coming in at number 3, I'm going to put Amon-Ra. If I didn't like CD and Tyreek so much, he'd be above one of them, but just can't do it. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to go by the name of Marvin Harrison Jr.
Nice. I love it.
It's going to be on an offense that no one's going to respect.
True.
And he's got all the freedom in the world. And he, as a route runner, he's disgusting. So I like him at 4. And then at 5, I'm going to put Mr. Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets.
Nice. Yeah, I think we're on the same page with that. He's bound to have a great year this year.
He does it with fucking Zach Wilson and
Exactly.
shit, and gets open, and it's just not his fault that they can't get him the ball.
It's
Whenever they threw him a tough pass, that motherfucker would make the catch. It was incredible. So
I will say honorable mention, Devontae Adams. I think he's gonna have a good season as well, but don't have him in my top 5. Maybe number 6.
let's round it out with the tight ends.
Tight ends.
I feel like our list is going to be extremely similar.
I didn't even make one off the top of my head, but I'm gonna go off top
All
here.
mine have been off the cuff.
Do I want to put Kelsey at 1?
I could go first if you want to.
Yeah, go first. Go first.
Right. Number 1 tight end in all of football is still Travis Kelce. I know you hate that answer.
No, I don't.
That's what it is, though. He's just...
I mean, skill-wise, yeah, he's definitely the best tight end of football. I'm just trying to think if I think he's going to finish top 1.
I still think he will. And then at number 2, I'm going to put Sam Laporta.
Mm-hmm.
People are really calling for him to have a down year, which I don't understand.
I've been seeing that a lot, too. I don't really understand it either. He had a great rookie season, and
it was towards the back end, too.
They're the same team.
Yeah, that I didn't really get. So I'm going to stick with my guns here and put him at 2.
I like it.
Coming in at 3, we're going to have Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in at number 4, I'm going to put Trey McBride. And then coming in at 5, this is where it gets tricky for me. I'm not going to put Hawkinson up there because of injury. It's really hard for me to put George Kittle anywhere, even though he always ends up like somewhere near the top just because the amount of tight ends are, there. But my number 5 is going to be a surprise guy who's, I think, been waiting for a chance like this. I'm going to put Kyle Pitts at number 5.
Wow, that is a surprise, but I like it.
Finally got a guy that's competent throwing the football.
That's true. Never thought about it like that.
And to be honest, if that guy does go down, I do think the backup can do pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Pitts at 5.
I like it. All right, I'm going to do something crazy, and you're going to love this pick. Trey McBride is going to finish as the tight end 1, baby. The tight end 1.
I'm telling you right now, the kid is
going to have a great season. He was literally, fantastic when I had him last year.
Left.
He, saved me.
Ertz left, and then McBride was like, thank
He was
God.
like, oh, yeah. Guys, I can do this, by the way. If you want to just fucking feed me. He's good.
He's getting fed by Clayton Tune.
Yeah, now he's got a healthy Kyler back. He got Marvin Harrison taking some pressure off of him.
Clayton
fucking
Tune.
I love it.
Just throwing the football.
Trey McBride, tight end 1, baby. Number 2, I'll go Kelsey. Number 3, I'll go Mark Andrews.
Scotty Scheffler, stellar approach. Sorry, that just showed up on here.
It's okay. This is where it gets tricky, though.
For all you people wondering, Puka will likely be ready for week 1.
Interesting. I think Puka's going way too high in drafts, if you ask me. While I'm looking for tight ends here, I think the fact that
he's going to get cupped and then Cup's going to get Puka'd?
That's what I'm thinking. It's it doesn't make sense.
There's no way Cooper just lays down.
Yeah.
And it's all right, this
Puka's
guy's going to
great.
be really good. No, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he loves having him as
he's
a teammate.
great,
but It's Cup's. It's
still
Cup's wide
Cooper
receiver
Kupp.
group.
Yeah,
that's
what I
his
mean.
wideout
So
room.
like, if I can get Cooper Kupp in the 4th, why would I draft Puka Nacua in the 2nd? You know what I mean? It's just
Listen,
I don't know.
think smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
As my wicked friend Marcus Smart used to
Marcus
say.
Smart.
Wicked smart.
I'm between. I'm thinking I like Dalton Kincaid this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Less weapons, no Gabe, no
That's,
Stefan.
that's what I'm thinking is that he's going to be
Him,
a little
Keon.
bit more of a primary
Shakir.
part of the offense.
Shakira.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dalton Kincaid at 4,
Okay.
and I'm going to go Sam Laporta at 5.
I like that list
That'll
a lot.
round it out. Honorable mention Brock Bowers.
Had to throw that in
Just
there.
had to throw him in there.
All right, let's do our last section here, and we'll get you guys on the road. We'll explain some stuff coming up for next week, and then we'll get out of here. Division winners.
Yep.
Division winners. Going to go through them rather quickly. Where do you want to start? Just pick a division, and then we'll just go from there.
We'll start with the AFC.
AFC, I'm assuming you want to do the Raiders division.
Yeah, we can start there.
All right,
Why
who do
not?
you got winning that one?
Well, I'm going to take the Chiefs to win that. I'm not that delusional.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to
So,
take the Chiefs
I
as
think
well.
the Chiefs will win that division. I think they'll go probably like 13-4, 12-5 maybe. And then I got the Raiders coming in behind them at 11-6.
Gotta shoot per use. Then you
but,
got the
know.
Chargers, right?
And then I got the Chargers.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Chargers are behind the Raiders for sure.
The Broncos.
And then the Broncos are all the way at the bottom. Actually, no, because Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, big
Ottawa.
fat pile of steaming dog shit.
Wait, Canadian Football League,
Canadian Football League,
XFL.
Sean Payton himself, then the Denver Broncos in dead last, in the basement, in the cellar. Bo Nix just
I'm going to be honest.
crying like a puppy.
I'm not going to change a thing about that. I like that division set.
You like that list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go. In my brain, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So I hope it goes that way. Moving on to the AFC
Do the East.
South.
South?
East? Let's go East. We'll go East.
East.
You start us off with the East. What do you got?
Pats coming in, division winners, going to take it. Jacoby Brissett's here. Listen here, Gerard Mayo, no, I'm kidding.
MVP, Jacoby Brissett.
Ramondre Stevenson, next AP. Here we
Drake
go.
May, move to wide receiver.
Pats, move them up, get them in. Hank, keep the tower. Do what you got to do. No. So I'm gonna have the Bills winning this division.
All right. Interesting.
I'm gonna have the Jets coming in second.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the Dolphins coming in third, and then I'm gonna have the Pats coming in last.
All right. I am going to have the New York Jets winning this division, and
I just for some reason I'll try to say it. I can't.
that's fair.
My body won't let me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
But
also saw a notification today that made me think, man, I don't want to be back on that team.
I saw you send it in the chat. It was like, where was it? I got to read it. Because it was just a funny Bleacher Report headline, too. Because that's just classic Bleacher Report, just trying to stir the pot.
Jets in complete disarray.
Vibe around Aaron Rodgers, team is terrible, in quotes. According to an anonymous agent. Who is this anonymous agent that just knows the vibes around the team? But that's funny.
I like it, though. Jets number 1.
Yeah, Jets at 1. Bills at 2. I think the Bills will be very good as well. They're been talked about that they're going to be worse, and I really think they'll be the same.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be good. Different look, though. Dolphins in 3rd. I think they'll regress a little bit. Offense will still get it done, but I don't think the defense will be very good. And then the Patriots in 4th, obviously.
All right, we can go to the South now. Sorry, I really wanted to do the East.
I think the South is an easy one in terms of who's winning it. I think the Texans take it by a landslide. And then I think it's just a dogfight between the Jags, Titans, and Colts for the other 3 spots. I don't think any of those 3 are going to be fighting for wild cards either. So I think the Texans take it with ease. Then I'm going to go... I'll go Jacksonville 2, Tennessee 3, Colts 4.
I'm not going to change that.
I don't know, though. It could be... The other 3 teams could all flip around.
Yeah, quite frankly,
Texans are going to win that.
I just don't care enough about the division.
Yeah, not a lot of exciting teams in there besides the Texans, who are arguably one of the most exciting teams in the league going into the season, I'd say.
Let's get to the North.
The North is going to be a fucking dogfight. Shout out to the Dog Pound, who I think will finish in 3rd place. Steelers in last. Old Russell Wilson's going to lead them to a nice fourth-place finish. But they'll be a little better. Still be a good division. Cleveland will be in third place. Great defense. Still don't love their quarterback situation.
I like this pick. I like these picks too. I don't think I'm going to change them. I think I know what your next two are going to be, so I'm assuming you're going to go.
I don't think you do. I think the Ravens are going to be in second place this year, and the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win the division.
Joey Burr.
I think Joey Burr is going to turn up.
Back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance. He got a fucking
I
blonde
will not mind
haircut.
that. I don't mind. I'm going to switch it. I'm just going to switch the top two, but I don't not mind it.
I'm rooting for the Ravens to win the division, but I just think that Joe Burrow is going to be different this year.
Yeah.
That's also depending on if Jamar Chase decides to stop being a fucking dick and just play. But at the same time, I get it. You got to get your money, you know? Sometimes you're playing on a rookie deal like that. Or is it a rookie deal?
Chase?
Yeah. Or a young, I don't know. Like,
What was it, 3 years? No, I don't think. I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
either way, he's looking to extend his contract here. And when you're playing at that high of a level, sometimes you got to hold out until you get it, especially in football.
Yeah,
So.
true. All right, NFC. Let's start with the NFC East.
NFC East, okay.
Coming in at number 4, I have the New York Football Giants.
I think there's no questions there. That's going to happen, I'd say.
Coming in at number 3, I have the Dallas Football Cowboys.
Really? The Dallas Football Cowboys. I love it. All right. So you're a Jaden Daniels believer.
I am.
Okay.
Coming in
as-
at number
as am
2, I'm going to put the Commanders.
Okay.
And then coming in at number 1, I'm going to put the Eagles.
I like it. I am a believer in Jaden Daniels. I don't think that they're going to come in second, but I'm going to go Eagles, Cowboys, football team, Commander, Redskins, whatever you want to call them. Maybe not the Redskins. Can't call them that anymore.
Literally, that's why they
Literally can't call them that. So maybe not whatever you want to call them. And then the Giants in last. But yeah, I do believe that Jaden Daniels will be solid and they'll be much improved from last year. But the Eagles just have so many goddamn weapons. It's hard to not put them first. They have like a Madden Ultimate Team on offense and defense.
Yeah, you're
So
right. To the North.
to the north,
I'm going to put
tough division.
at number 4. Yeah. It's going to suck for me to say.
Skull Vikes.
I'm going to put the Vikes.
I mean, how do you not right now
And-
with Darnold?
Yeah, it's
Got
tough,
to
dude.
see what you have in him first.
Number 3,
Could prove us wrong.
I'm going to put Chicago Bears.
Yep.
And at number 2, I'm going to put the Detroit Lions. I think the Green Bay Packers
locked in.
are going to win that division.
Exactly what I
think
think.
their offense is going to really surprise people with their very young receivers and probably a very energetic Josh Jacobs. He's playing with a much younger squad. So I feel like he's picking up some of their energy. So give me the Packers winning the NFC North.
I absolutely agree with that to a T. Every single thing you said, even the Josh Jacobs part of it, because as much as it kills me to say, like, the guy wants to win. He is such a competitor.
He's a winner.
He wants to fucking win, and he's probably so damn sick of losing, and he's done a lot of losing with the Raiders, and I can say that, because I've watched it happen. And the games that we didn't lose, if we didn't have Josh Jacobs, we would have
would've won
lost every single one of them.
Yeah, so-
Because he was a fucking dog fighting for
part.
extra yardage. So I think he'll be a huge piece to that offense. Jordan Love's going to have another great year, even better than last year. All 3 of his receivers are going to improve. I think Christian Watson has a huge year.
I agree.
I think
Look out for
Romeo
Jaden
Dobbs
Reed.
will do well. Jaden Reed will do well.
Slotty.
Yep. They got a lot of weapons. And their defense is very good.
Always
very
has been,
slept
always
on.
will be.
Very, very slept on.
Always has been, always will be.
Yep. They made a couple big signings that I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but I feel like they added some key pieces. But yeah, so I had the same as
exact.
you there. I think the Bears will be solid, but I think they're still too young to be fighting with the Packers and Lions.
Yeah.
Also think the Packers and Lions records will be very similar.
Me too. I think it'll be like a game.
one. Yeah.
Let's get the shittiest division in football out of the way.
NFC South,
Yeah.
not a good one.
Coming in dead last again, I got the Panthers.
Yep, no surprises there.
Coming in third, got the Jags.
Jags are in the AFC South.
I don't have the Jags.
You got either the Saints, the Bucks, or the Falcons.
I got the Falcons coming in third.
Ah, okay.
Just kidding. I got the Saints coming in third.
That's
Number
more
2,
like it.
Falcons.
Okay. Bucky's winning it.
Bucky's
again.
at 1. I think Baker's really found a home.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Big Rashad White fan, too.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the Falcons are going to win the NFC South. I think that Kirk Cousins is going to have a big season. Fantasy-wise, at least. He's going to have, some good fantasy numbers. I think that will correlate to some real-life wins as well. I think the Falcons will be, better, but not, anything crazy.
Baby steps. Baby
Yeah.
steps with the Falcons.
And the Bucks, I like you said, Baker found a home. I like what they got going on over there. They got something to build on after last year. Rashad White had a good
Some
season.
momentum.
He was a top 5 running back last year.
Some
Rashad
momentum.
White. So yeah, I could definitely see the Bucks winning, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and hope to see something different and say Kirk Cousins wins the NFC South.
I like it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the
Redbirds.
NFC West.
Redbirds, they're winning it.
Coming
The
in
West.
dead fucking last this year are going to be the Seattle Seahawks.
Love it.
Coming in third place are going to be the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow. Here come the birds, the red
Coming in
ones.
second and securing a wild card spot this year, we got the Redbirds. Red Sea rise up.
I love it. You heard it here first.
And then we got the Niners winning the NFC West.
I love it. I'm gonna. Niners definitely taking it. No question about that. I like the Seahawks in last. I think they're gonna regress. They're not gonna be very good this year. And honestly, for the sake of the pod, I would love to see the Cardinals get second place and get a wild card spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you fully.
chip?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be fun to watch because they have a fun team. They're a young squad. You know me. I like to root for the young underdog.
Gannon's a psycho.
Yeah, you got Kyler's back. He's still a young guy in my eyes. You got Marvin Harrison, just a son of an NFL legend. How can you not how can you not root for that? And I said Trey McBride's going to be the tight end 1, so I'm trying to be right. So, go Cards, baby. I like it.
Alrighty, folks. Coming up next week, we have Thursday night preview, Chiefs-Ravens.
Yep.
Fantasy Football Showdown. We're going to have the Rain Train of Pain and Clemrod on there.
Yep. I love that. That would be Liam and Dean.
Then we'll do our first week one. We'll do our first week 1 episode. So, RJ, get us out of here.
Yep. You're listening to the Pro Am Podcast. Thank you for listening. Go follow us on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. As you're listening on right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go hop on the TikTok comments. We got a lot of traction going on there now. Hop
in there.
Talk some shit. Be a hater if you want. I don't care. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Get in there.
I'm a raider. I can handle the haters. Let's go. Pro Am Pod. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday.
Ray!